Back to the market right now. We're going to talk about the biggest winner for the S&P 500 today, and it was Gap. Yes, Gap. That old store that old stock that we just kicked around for so long, just to the curb. I mean, Rick, nobody liked it. You couldn't figure out what was going on there. They had so many stores, but now they're being saved by Kanye West. Yeezy, Gap. Are you going to head there? What do you make of this tie-up in here? First of all, did you even know that Kanye West had worked at the Gap?
I did not, no. Yeah. He's making a 10-year deal with the Gap. I think there are a lot of people who aren't even sure the Gap is going to be around in 10 years. I mean, if you ask Brian Sazi about the Gap, his head would practically explode. So this is a 10-year deal for relatively inexpensive clothing for men, hip wear for men, I guess. I asked my 21-year-old son about this deal because he usually knows about this kind of stuff before I do, and I was interested to get his take. He hadn't heard of it, and I can guarantee you he has never been in a Gap store, and I don't know if it's going to get him into one. He does love the Yeezy shoes, I know that. So I guess the question for Gap, I don't even know who the Gap customer is anymore. It's like the most bland slice of America, middle America you can think of. So they're trying to revive their image. They think he can bring them $1 billion in annual sales in the future. That would be like a 20% increase for them. So very ambitious for Gap. I guess Kanye West probably is going to be able to run the show here because they probably need him more than he needs them.
Well, and to that point, Rick, you say, what does the Gap stand for? Well, I think people do know what the Yeezy aesthetic stands for. And some people might think that the kind of the clay and bone colors that you find most of their gear in, that doesn't appeal to everybody. But to your point, the Gap means nothing. So if it means that, that's a positive for the company, and the market certainly agrees.
So, Myles, I'm over the hill. I'm not the target customer here, but you arguably are the target customer. Are you going to go to the Gap and check this stuff out?
Bad news for me, Rick. I am not the target customer. This is not about 30-year-olds. This is about teenagers. This is about Jen's children. That's the focus group here. It's not me. I'm old now.
I do not.
You can pretend you're still a teenager.
No, Myles is
Rick,
not.
I'm wearing a golf shirt on the internet. I'm not cool or interested. It's all over, man.
Good chance for you to youthen your image.
Can I raise a serious question about this deal? And I think it's I think it's some good thinking. Gap needs a real shot in the arm. He could definitely be the one to do it. He has, from time to time, stepped into different controversies. And in this time right now of cancel culture and everything else going on, do we need to worry about, Gap getting, you have no idea what Kanye could say from day to day at all.
He has praised President Trump, among other things. But I mean, if you're Gap is struggling so bad that the old saying probably really is true, that there's no such thing as bad publicity. I mean, anything that enlivens Gap image, even if it's negative at this point. I mean, I guess you can see, I'm sure there's a clause in this contract that says Gap has a right to sever the relationship if he does something completely outrageous. But I kind of don't see what Gap has to lose here, honestly.
All right.
I agree.
Nothing to lose. When you're so far down and out, the only way you can go is up. And today, Gap was up a lot. Again, the biggest performer in the S&P, up more than 16%.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.